Hey, so I just posted a video about nutrition, but I also splurge. And this past weekend, I made a very rich chocolate ice cream cake, and I want to share with you how I made it. The way that I can make something like this and continue to eat healthy is to only make something like this for a special occasion. So I made this for a friend's baby shower, and I made it very rich because she loves very rich chocolate. I shared it with a lot of women. A lot of it was leftover after the baby shower, so I offered, the women if they wanted to take any home. Two wanted to take some of it home, so I packed it for them, as big a piece as I could fit in their Tupperware. And the next day I offered to anyone who wanted to come over to have a piece. My boss, his wife, and a colleague of mine came over the next day and had a piece. And I still had a tiny bit left. So the tiny bit that I still had left, I froze, and I will only allow myself to have a little bit each day. I hope you enjoy. This is how to make a rich chocolate ice cream cake. Okay, so for today's ice cream cake, you will need a greased 9x13 pan, a package of Oreos, or if you're gluten sensitive like me, gluten-free Oreo cookies, and a 1/4 cup of butter, a gallon of ice cream. This is a little bit over a gallon. Hot fudge, whipped topping, whatever you want to decorate with. You don't need Hershey's Sundae Dream chocolate syrup, but this cake is for someone who really loves chocolate, rich chocolate, so I got that. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to utilize this onesie that I cut out. So there are lots of different ways to crush Oreos. I have to use my blender for a different recipe today, so I don't feel like getting it dirty. If you roll it in a bag, it does get like all stuck in the bag, so I'll have to open up this bag and scrape it out. So what I've been doing really is just breaking it up with my fingers and just chopping it like you would an onion, and it doesn't take that long, and I'm pretty happy with it. So you're going to want to reserve some of your cookie crumbs, a 1/2 cup, normally to sprinkle on the top when you're all done, but I'm going to actually mix that in to a layer and decorate it with other things that I got. But anyway, so you want to set a 1/2 cup aside, and with your other cookie crumbs, you will want to stir in the butter. A 1/4 cup of butter. After you stir in the butter, you'll press it into the bottom of your greased pan. Then you want to spoon your gallon of ice cream into the pan. I'm actually going to do most of my ice cream will be this rich chocolate truffle flavor, but then I'm going to do a small layer of vanilla with some of the cookies that I have. I didn't get cookies and cream, which is what many would do for this recipe, because my friend loves really rich chocolate, and she wouldn't want that much vanilla. I'm just gently spreading this ice cream onto my cookie layer. So now I've spread all of this ice cream with a knife, and this is 3 quarts. So I'm going to add another quart of ice cream, but first I'm going to freeze this for 2 hours. So I'm going to cover it and freeze it. This has frozen for 2 hours. So now I'm just going to take the cookies that I set aside and just sprinkle them onto this layer. Sprinkle them all over. And now that that's all sprinkled on, I'm going to spoon my last quart of ice cream on top. I'm just going to scoop the vanilla and chocolate part of this Breyer's ice cream, not the strawberry. I just spooned my last quart out onto my cake, and so now I am just going to gently spread and smooth out all of the ice cream. I did chocolate on this side. So my friend that really loves rich chocolate, she can eat from this side that is completely all chocolate. But for everyone else who wants a little variety, they can eat on this side and it has a little vanilla. Now that I've smoothed it all out, I'm going to cover it and freeze it again for 2 hours. So it's now been frozen for another 2 hours. So now I'm going to drizzle this Hershey's hot fudge on it. Here we go. Ooh. Now that it's all drizzled with hot fudge, I'm going to cover it and freeze it for 1 hour. Now that it's been frozen another hour, I'm going to add the last layer, which is Cool Whip. So I've put the entire container on top and I will just smooth it all out. Now that it's all evened out, I will cover it and freeze it. Since it's pretty high now, I'll need to use toothpicks to cover it. The toothpicks on the perimeter help me to cover it without getting too much of the Cool Whip on the saran wrap. So now I will freeze it. So you want to freeze it for 2 hours, and typically after that you'd be done, but I'm going to decorate it since this is for a baby shower. The top layer is completely frozen, and what I did is my onesie cutout, I covered it in saran wrap so it is clean, and I taped the saran wrap down, and I'm just going to place it on my frozen cake. Like so, and I'm gonna take my sprinkles and just sprinkle around the onesie. I put blue sprinkles all around the onesie, so now I'm gonna take the onesie off of the cake. And I have a little onesie on my cake. I just piped on there, "Welcome baby Paul." So I'm gonna cover it up and freeze it until the party tomorrow morning. And if the sprinkles move around too much, I will take my frosting and frost like a border around it. Anyway, that's my cake. Super easy, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.